KWM is a place for all who suffer from kidney disease. No matter what stage you're at in your journey, we are here for you. KWM is a platform for kidney warriors to tell their personal story. KWM offers many ways to tell your story. Our Warriors Wall is a platform in which we allow the warrior to tell their story in a short blog format. Our warrior stories, we take your story and we place it on video, with voiceover telling your story. Do you have a message for all kidney warriors? We can give you a message of hope. You come on camera and speak your message of hope to other kidney warriors. Our final conversation starter is our line of Kidney Warrior merchandise. Go to www.kidneywarriormerch.com. KWM. Starting conversations.
Hey guys, welcome to Hope with Jonathan, and I'm your host, Jonathan Traylor. Guys, tonight we have an excellent show for you. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are ready for this one. It's going to be a great, awesome show. I hope you guys will share this show with everybody, all of your friends and family. Smash that share button. And also, guys, I really appreciate everyone for going over and subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go over and subscribe to Hope with Jonathan. We really, really appreciate it. But hey, guys, tonight we have a very, very special co-host coming to us by way of Iowa, Midwest Kidney Warriors own Mr. Shane Blanchard. He's going to come on and co-host with us. We also have a Kidney Dietitian Kellsey Reed from Instagram. Guys, it's going to be an amazing show. I hope you guys will interact and leave comments. Ask questions, just get involved with this show. This is going to be an amazing show. And hey guys, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on our co-host, Mr. Shane Blanchard. Welcome to the show, Mr. Shane Blanchard. What's going on, Mr. Shane Blanchard?
Oh, I'm jamming out. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good.
Good vibrations. Good vibrations going on tonight, man.
What's going on with you, Shane? Why do you have some good vibrations? Fill us in.
Just good things all around. You know, I getting good reports from, transplant, and good reports from my dialysis center, and I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed.
Yeah. For those that haven't already known about your story, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your story, Shane?
Yeah, I'll just give you a little background on me. I mean, I've been in kidney failure now for a little over 2.5 years. Had my first transplant when I was 22 years old. Got that kidney from my brother, and it lasted quite a while. It lasted 23 years. Unfortunately, it just ran its course. It started failing on no cause of its own. Just, it happens sometimes. Some people can get, 30 years out of a kidney. Mine, just happened to go 23. So, I'm in the situation now where I'm back on peritoneal dialysis. I get to do it from home every night for 10 hours a night. I go to work during the day, and then when I'm home at night, I get to watch shows like Hope with Jonathan, and sometimes get to be a co-host too. So loving life, man, loving life.
Awesome. One thing I noticed about Shane is he always keeps a PMA, which is a positive mental attitude.
Yeah, and, PMA, yep, it's going to be on my grave.
And he's got such a positive spirit, and he kind of represents what this show's all about. So giving people hope and inspiration. So it's a awesome thing to have Shane Blanchard on as a co-host. I'm actually honored to have him on. He's a really cool guy, and I really appreciate what he's doing. What you're going to be doing with Midwest Kidney Warriors?
Well, same type of thing that that Hope with Jonathan does. I want to reach out and help people through the Midwest. In Iowa and surrounding states of Iowa. I've actually got a couple people that I help in Georgia and Texas. But just help people get the word out that are looking for kidneys. I've through myself doing it, I've kind of learned some things on marketing and advertising on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and I want to use the talents that I've gained and the relationships that I've garnered with people like Jonathan and people like the Warrior Quest Show and Mr. Kidney. I want to use all that for other people out there to help spread the word and let them know for people in their areas that might be wanting to donate to to come forward for those people. So I want to kind of be like Jonathan. I want to spread hope. So that's what Midwest Kidney Warriors is about, is advocating for people to find living donors, and then also people that might be in dialysis and might not be able to get a kidney. I want to be able to advocate and help those people, live life to their fullest while they're going through their treatments to have a great life. So that's
awesome.
What I'm all about.
Awesome stuff. Where can we find you at Midwest Kidney Warriors?
Sure. You got a website. It's MidwestKidneyWarriors.com. You can check that out. You can go on Facebook. We got a group page, which is pretty cool. You get a lot of people together that can share stories, or, if they've got banners and ads and are looking for kidneys, they can put things up there. And what's nice is we have a community of people that can share those all throughout the country and get the word out for you. And so just just look up Midwest Kidney Warriors on Facebook and you can find me on there. So awesome. Yeah, come and join us. It'd be great.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jonathan.
No, thank you, Shane. Actually, Shane has me featured as well on his website. And if you go to my website, I actually have Midwest Kidney Warriors featured on there as well. So guys, go check out hopewithjonathan.com and go check out Shane's website at midwestkidneywarriors.com.
Yeah, definitely, man. We're all in this together, and we want to make a positive impact and help people out. And I know that's what you're about, and I'm excited to be on here with you. So it's grateful for it. So thank you.
No, thank you. You know what, Shane? I think without further ado, we're going to bring on our kidney dietitian, our very special guest. This is going to be an amazing interview. We're going to try to give you guys, a little bit more education on renal diets, dispel some myths, some do's and don'ts, possibly some recipes. So, guys, stay tuned for this interview. It's going to be an informative one. But without further ado, let's welcome our very, very special guest, Miss Kellsey Reed. Welcome to the show, Hope with Jonathan, Kellsey Reed.
Hey there. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to chat tonight.
It's a pleasure to have you on. It's an honor to have you on. I really appreciate you doing the show with us. And I welcome you to our show. And without further ado, I'd like for you to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about, your background with being a kidney dietitian.
Yeah, I would love to. Again, thank you so much for having me. So my name is Kellsey, and I am a kidney dietitian. I help people with kidney disease, pre-dialysis, as well as on dialysis, learn to eat the foods that they love so that they can improve their kidney health, but most of all, live an amazing life with kidney disease, live their best life with kidney disease. And really, I started doing this because I worked in dialysis for about 5 years, and I saw a lack of support and a lack of guidance that wasn't really given to a lot of my patients there. And I wanted to change that. I want to give people so much support, so much guidance so that they feel like they can be, that they can live their life in such a healthy and amazing way, and that they can do it confidently and comfortably. And also, a goal of mine is to help people try to prevent dialysis as much as possible or delay the progression of their kidney disease. So I love to help them do that through nutrition. So that's what I'm all about. And I'm located in Philadelphia, but I actually work with clients from all over the country too, virtually, which is amazing.
Awesome information there. Thanks for sharing all that with us and letting us know a little bit about you so that people feel a little more comfortable. I do want to open up the show with a question that I think a lot of people would want to know about what are some common misconceptions with following a renal diet?
Yes, that is a really good question. I think it's so important to talk about that because when you hear renal diet, a lot of people think like white rice, grilled chicken, and white bread, and like that's all you can eat. You can't have any fruits or veggies, and definitely no bananas or tomatoes or anything like that. And it's just not true nowadays. We know that there's so much more that you can fit into your renal diet. And that's a really old school way of thinking. Back in the day, a lot of people recommended like only white products and just strictly like grilled chicken without any seasoning, no salt, nothing. And now I think our world is just opened up so much to different types of cuisines and different foods that we can include now on a kidney friendly diet. And really, the only food that I would tell anyone to avoid strictly is star fruit because it's toxic to the kidneys. But other than that, there's so many other things you can include. It's really just amazing. So that's a really common misconception. And I like to kind of start out with that so that people know that you can fit so many different things into your diet in a healthy way when you have kidney disease. Another common misconception is, I kind of mentioned this, that you can't eat fruits and vegetables. And that's just not true. We know that fruits and vegetables are so amazing for kidney health, and you can learn how to fit them in your diet in a healthy way for your kidneys, especially with the help of a kidney dietitian.
That's awesome. Great information there. Thanks for answering that one. So I completely agree. Like I think a lot of things when people hear renal diet, they start freaking out, thinking, oh man, it's just gonna be grilled chicken and rice from here on out, type thing. So I appreciate you answering that. What type of meals do you suggest for people that are at the beginning stages of being told that they need to follow a renal diet?
That's a really good question because that's always the toughest thing. When people are told to follow a renal diet or a kidney-friendly diet, they start to stress out, freak out a little bit. They're like, what can I even eat for a meal? So some of the things that I would suggest are making your plate really balanced. So something I'll tell my clients is to pick out a fruit, pick out a vegetable, maybe pick out a protein food like chicken or tofu or shrimp, and then have a whole grain with it so that your plate is really balanced. So an example of that would be, let's say, some shrimp with brown rice and like a little side salad with some apple slices. That would be a really well balanced meal for someone with kidney disease. And obviously, your portion sizes are going to change depending on so many things, but really, balance is the key to living a healthy life with CKD. Some things that I like to recommend are, like veggie kebabs or chicken shrimp kebabs because they're filled with veggies and really good flavors. Oatmeal with fruit and nuts, I love. Sandwiches with veggies, as well as stir fry. Those are like some of my top favorite meals to recommend.
Stir fry, man, that sounds good right now. I'm
Yeah.
kind of hungry for some stir fry.
It sounds amazing.
And Shane, man, you pop in anytime, brother, if you have a question or anything.
Yeah,
Just
I was,
pop in.
I'm glad she answered a question like that for beginners because, I've been on hemodialysis, for almost a year and a half now, and I just got off and I started peritoneal dialysis. So one of the discussions I, was wondering, and I talked to a dietitian too, but I would wonder your advice. I myself, they tell me that I can probably eat a little more, could probably have a little more potassium and phosphorus. I took my labs and I got my labs, and my phosphorus today was a 7.1 and my potassium was 5.5. So I'm right at the top level on potassium and my phosphorus is a little bit over. I wasn't happy about that. So, what is your suggestion? I mean, going from hemo to PD, do you think I went just too far with my phosphorus intake, or should I still kind of have that strict renal diet, or what?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's a tough balance sometimes when you switch because you're used to being so strict, and then when you hear that you can open up your diet a little bit, you kind of are like, "Oh my gosh, now I can eat everything." Right? But one question I would have for you is how long have you been doing PD now?
I've just been doing PD for 2 weeks. I did my
Okay.
KT over V and it was 1.5. So they are going to raise my milliliters to 3,000 and my dwell time to 10 hours instead of 9. It's because they said that I'm not getting the type of dialysis I need. And so they said that would probably also bring those 2 levels down. But I'm used to having 5-star, dialysis or 5-star diet where
Yeah.
I'm getting 5-star ratings because I've been perfect. I take pride in that. Because
Yeah.
I know with dialysis, you feel how you eat. So I want to make sure that I'm eating right. And so that kind of upset me a little bit that those labs were off.
Yeah, that's really upsetting and it's stressful because you work so hard on your health and that's something you didn't expect to see. So I totally understand that. I would say give it a little bit more time to see those diet changes open up for you since it's only been 2 weeks. Your body's not fully used to the PD yet.
Mhm.
And they're right. Over time, as you continue to do PD and with your dwell increasing, your milliliters increasing, you will start to see those numbers come down a little bit. So
Mhm.
my advice to you would be to continue, following a pretty strict diet as you were before on hemo, and then see what your numbers are the next month. And that's really going to be your true deciding factor to know if you can go up a little bit on your restriction or not.
Yeah, and I think that helps me a lot. And I think the people that are watching this that are doing NSYNC or hemo that might be thinking about peritoneal, or those that are even doing peritoneal, that helps because from a lot of people, and Jonathan knows this, that we interview, we want the fix now.
Mm-hmm.
We want the labs good because we know in order to get a kidney transplant, we have got to have good labs. We have to have consistent treatments. We have to, there's so many different things that have to be in order to get a kidney. And so, we're kind of now people, which is how I am with my labs. I want perfect labs now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is good for people that are watching, because I know we have a couple people on here that have just started PT, Lillian and Zonia. And so, it'd be good for them to listen to what you just said there too, is,
Mm-hmm.
start off stricter and then as dialysis allows, let your body, get used
Yeah.
to it and then you can adjust. So I appreciate that very much.
Yeah, of course. That's a great question.
One thing I learned right away when I started dialysis was that it was always going to be ever changing. There was in a game of adjustments, almost like you had to, make it a game in a way, or play the game sometimes, where
Mm-hmm.
you could compensate this food for this one and things like that, and kind of play with it a little bit here and there just to see what works best for you. A lot of people have that misconception of, and they talk about eating their labs. I don't know if that's a safe way of doing following a renal diet. I mean, some people, I guess, can get away with it. I guess it all depends upon the patient and how it affects their body. What do you think about people that say we're going to eat our labs?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I actually saw that a lot when I worked in dialysis. I would have some patients that would get we called it a report card. They would get their lab report card back and they would see their potassium was good. So they would immediately go and get a banana and eat it. And, or they would see their phosphorus was good and they would go get some fast food right after treatment. So I think it can be a little dangerous sometimes, because once your labs are good, you know that what you're doing is actually working. So really, you want to keep doing that. You don't want to stop that. And I think sometimes it's hard for people to realize that even though your labs are high, sometimes you might not see those side effects right away. So then those side effects can happen anytime, especially when your potassium is high. So keeping
Yeah.
a close watch of your labs is really important. Now, I do know some people that will kind of do the opposite. Like if their phosphorus is high, they will cut back on high phosphorus foods and additives and fast food and things like that so that they can lower it, which is great. That's what we want.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely know the dangers of potassium. My potassium actually reached a level of 9 when I went into emergency kidney failure, and it was a scary situation that I do not wish on anybody ever in their lifetime. So definitely stay on top of the potassium side of things. Phosphorus and all that is important too. But potassium affects your heart, and it is a scary situation when it gets really out of control.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I have another question for you. What do you think about fad dieting, such as like Atkins diets and keto diets? Are those renal safe, renal friendly?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I get a lot of questions about the keto diet in particular, and Atkins is pretty similar. That's like the old school keto diet.
Yeah.
But honestly, I believe that no one person is going to follow the same diet, because everyone's body is different, everyone's labs are different, everyone's medical history is different. So if your goal is to eat for your kidney health, you'll want to follow a kidney friendly diet. That's the main diet you'll want to follow. If your goal is weight loss or improving your blood pressure or diabetes, then there's other diets that we can kind of intertwine with a kidney friendly diet to make sure that we're optimizing your health. But in terms of like Atkins and keto and intermittent fasting, I don't necessarily recommend that for my clients. However, if it's something that works for you and is helping you reach your health goals, then I think that's amazing. But a lot of times, those types of diets do not help you reach your health goal. And that's just in my experience. But like I said, if it is, then keep doing it. If it works for you, that's amazing. If not, follow a kidney friendly diet.
So, I enjoy some of the different meals that you'll find in the stores, kind of like what Jonathan's talking about, like the Weight Watchers meals or the Healthy Choice meals. Are there any of those that you would suggest, or would you say stay away from them because of the sodium?
Yeah, that's a good question. And are you referring to mainly like the frozen meals?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. So typically, some of the things to look out for would be, you're right, the sodium is number one. The other thing would be phosphate additives. And a lot of times those frozen meals, they're going to add phosphate additives because it helps preserve the meals. And it adds color and flavors and things like that. So those are the two things I would be mindful of. But there are some healthier frozen meals. Like Healthy Choice does have a couple really good healthier options. I can't think of the types off the top of my head, but they do have some good ones. And what I would recommend is just simply at the store reading the label and just making sure the sodium is at a good level, making sure there's no phosphate additives. Lean Cuisine has some good ones as well, and Amy's brand. It's a
Oh, yeah.
little more pricey, but they have great ones. I haven't found one yet that has phosphate additives, which is awesome. So those three, I would say, are some pretty good brands to look at if you're interested in those frozen meals.
Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember when I first got diagnosed, I spent literally like 2.5 hours with my wife. We went up and down the grocery aisles and just read labels of food. So that's definitely important, I think, is reading the labels on any food choice. And then also, if you're concerned about like fruits and vegetables, they do have like charts and stuff. And sometimes you can ask for, in the grocery stores, you can actually ask for a pamphlet or something. They'll have some sort of information that can help you with the potassium and things like that. So, it's definitely great advice to always read the labels on things, because there's sometimes even though you read the labels, sometimes you got to really look at the ingredients as well, because that phosphate and phosphorus will be hidden in there sometimes on certain items. So you definitely have to keep looking. But so I'm going to go ahead and ask this because I guess everybody's always wondering. It's snack time. It's late at night. You're craving that snack. Maybe in your mind you're thinking Doritos or Cheetos or any of that type of stuff. Is there such thing as a renal safe like snack?
Yeah, I love that question. I was just talking to a client because she was munching on some Oreos, and we were talking about, are those kidney friendly or not? So here's a couple of things I would recommend when it comes to snacking. One would be look at your portion size. How much are you having? Does it fit with the serving size on the package? Because that's the nutrition that you're getting from that. And if you're eating more than the serving size, know that your nutrition is going to go up as well. And that means sodium, protein, fat, carbohydrates, sugars, things like that. So I always recommend, if you're going to have a snack like that, like chips or cookies or something like that, keep the portion size small and add a vegetable to it. And I know it sounds crazy, but this is something I recommend because it helps keep you more satisfied. And then you also feel a little bit better about your snack because you're keeping it more balanced. So if you wanted to have some potato chips, I would recommend, there's a couple good brands. Lay's has lightly salted, and they're actually really delicious. And Trader Joe's has unsalted potato chips too. Have your potato chips, portion it out into a bowl, have some baby carrots on the side. Maybe you want a little dip, Greek yogurt dip or something to dip your chips and carrots in. But if you look at that snack, it's a little bit more balanced because you're getting some fiber and some nutrients from those carrots or that vegetable that you're pairing your snack with. So if you can, when in doubt, add a vegetable to make it a little more balanced.
Oh, wow. So like if you was going to indulge in maybe eat one Oreo, you could actually eat that, but maybe supplement eating instead of a sleeve of Oreos.
Yes.
You're gonna eat a bunch of maybe some raw carrots.
Yeah.
To kind of balance it out a little bit.
Exactly. And I know for some people it's not realistic, right? People are like, what is she talking about? She's crazy. I'm going to eat a whole bag of chips and that's my snack. Okay, but first, ask yourself a couple questions. Think about, do you really want that snack? Are you being mindful with that snack? Are you actually hungry? And then also, again, remember portion size if you can. But also, I don't recommend doing that all the time, right? Maybe it's a once in a while thing. Maybe it's once a week, twice a week when you're watching a movie with your family after dinner or something like that. For more regular snacks, fruits and veggies are always the best.
Awesome information. Hey, I want to take a second and send a shout out to all of our guests that are watching, people commenting, interacting. We really appreciate all the support for the show. We've got Kyle Hawkins with KWM, Kidney Warrior Merch. You guys see him on Instagram. Midwest Kidney Warriors, you know who that is. He's in the house tonight, Shane Blanchard. Melissa Kim Trailer, shout out to my wife. Thanks for watching, babe. We got Mr. Kidney. Mr. Kidney's in the house. Sam, what's going on, Sam? And Kay Blanchard, that is Shane's mother. And I appreciate all your support, Miss Kay Blanchard. So thanks for everyone for supporting the show and for your comments. And we had a really quick question that came in. Do you recommend the app Phosfilter?
Yeah, I love that app. Actually, Greta is the creator of that app. She's a dietitian. She has an Instagram page as well. And she created that app to help people with kidney disease find phosphate additives in food so that they could avoid them. So when you're in the grocery store, take out that app, scan the barcode, and it'll show you if there's any phosphate additives in that food, which is really cool. Maybe you don't want to sit there and read the whole label. Maybe it's a long list and you just want to be quick about it. Just take out that app and scan it. It's really awesome.
Well, see, that would be great because, one of the things, side effects of dialysis is vision.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people get blurred vision, and where that phosphorus is on there, it's written so small and it's really hard to find, or it just all blurs together. I struggle with that. So hearing that question, that's something I'm going to check out. So that was really good.
Yeah, that's an awesome question.
Great question, Kyle from KWM. Is that available on Apple Store and Google Play for Android as well?
Yes, I believe it's available on both of them.
Okay. I'll try to add that in the description in the YouTube video so people know where to find that at. So that's a great question, great information. Yeah, because I remember, I wish I would have known about that app whenever I was scanning all these items and stuff, because I actually, like I said, I spent 2 or 3 hours at a time in the grocery store looking at labels and just, it was kind of a lengthy process the first couple of weeks trying to figure out, what I can eat. I mean, you take all the information, you're like a sponge, you're taking in all this information about your kidneys failing and dialysis and what's going to happen with you. And then the renal dietitian is, explaining everything to you too. So it's a lot of info to take in, whenever you're battling kidney disease. So, but these are some of the things that would definitely be helpful. They probably should start offering that as, information across like the board with like DaVita, Fresenius, and all these different corporations right away to let people know about, hey, there's an app for you to help you with this, so that may be something that she looks at in the future to try to get involved with and network with them a little bit and get that out there a little bit more, because this is the first I've ever heard of that app. So
yeah, that's a great idea. If I talk to her, I'm going to tell her.
Yep. So the name of that app was it
Phosfilter.
Phosfilter. Yep, we had a question come in, someone asking what the name of that app was. So Phosfilter. Yeah, great question. Great info there. So here's another question for you, Kelsey.
Yes.
What are some healthy meals that are safe for renal patients on the go or traveling? So let's say you're traveling and you think about it, the only thing around is like a fast food restaurant. And you gotta make that choice because you're starving, you're hungry, and you just gotta bite the bullet. So what are in case you have to do that, what are your options there?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I actually talk a lot about fast food and restaurants on my Instagram page because that's something that I think is so important. It's not always realistic to cook your meals all the time. If you're on the go, if you're traveling on vacation, you need to have those kidney-friendly options so that you can, meet your nutrition recommendations and live your life with CKD or kidney disease. So some things I would recommend now. If we are talking about like fast food, like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, now this is gonna shock some people, but this is what I recommend. I actually would recommend a burger over a chicken sandwich. And this is because a lot of times the burgers are simply just beef with added spices. So you're not getting all those additives. Now, the chicken is usually breaded and that has phosphate additives in it. So opt for the burger when you can. It's actually a better option. It's also usually lower in sodium than a grill or a crispy chicken sandwich. And then my other recommendation would be try to stay away from the fries or get a small portion. Most fries actually have a lot of phosphate additives in them. If you look at McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, they actually all have phosphate additives in their fries. And that's not even thinking about sodium and potassium too, for those that are on a restriction. But, if you go to a place that makes their fries like homemade, that's where you're not going to find the phosphate additives. So I would opt for like sides, like some places have apple slices, fruit cups, side salad, applesauce. Those would be much better options for you. And they're easy to eat on the go as well. And like places like Chick-fil-A or places with grilled chicken, that's always a good option too, because you're not getting as much sodium and phosphate additives from the breading.
Right.
So it's interesting you brought up fruit cups, because I always got nervous about fruit cups, and I never knew those would be safe to eat. I thought, they were real sodium, sugary, phosphate added. So those are okay.
Yeah, typically. So there's two different types. So if you go to a place that gives you like a fresh fruit cup where it's just cut up fruit in a cup, that's usually perfectly fine because there's no additives. They're just putting fresh fruit in there. But if you go to a place that gives you like an actual fruit cup in the plastic with the lid on it,
Like the fruit
prepackaged
cocktail.
fruit cocktail stuff, that's when it's a little trickier.
Okay.
However, if we're comparing that to the fries, I would say the fruit is a little bit better option. Yes, there might be some added sugar in there, but in terms of sodium, potassium, phosphorus, it's going to be a safer option.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome information. I know, I try not to even step into like Wendy's, McDonald's, all these different type of places because I ate there religiously and it just destroyed my body over the years. But after I experienced kidney failure, I changed my whole mindset, and a lot of people know my story. I started exercising and just really changed my mindset about diet and choices. And so if I see a Chick-fil-A, it's pretty much grilled chicken. I gave up fries like 2 years ago. I do not eat fries at all. I usually eat salads only. And I'm really careful about what salad dressings I'm using because there's hidden like sugars and things like that in a lot of salad dressings. But anyway, those are the things that I try to look for. So as an alternative to French fries, is usually I'll see, do you have a side salad or something like that, or fruit, that I can compensate for the French fries? Because I know, most of kidney patients, a lot of kidney patients are type 2 diabetic or diabetic, and so fries are a carb and a starch, that you just definitely have to really monitor because they can definitely shoot your sugars really high if you consume a lot of potatoes and things like that. So I appreciate you sharing that though, because I've always wondered about cases where people are out traveling, stuff like that. Well, what do they do? I mean, because what about places like, let me ask you this, what about places like Subway, Jimmy John's, places like that?
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that. Subway is a really good option, actually. So I know a lot of people say, avoid deli meats, but there's a way that you can do it in a healthy way. So when you go to a place like Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's is a big one over here on the East Coast, as well as Subway, I would recommend opting for whole wheat bread because there's going to be more fiber in there, more whole grains, which is good for gut health, bowel movements, things like that. And then if you're going to get a meat, see if they have any lower sodium options. It might be, who really knows? Usually they won't, but I would opt for like a turkey or a chicken breast option, and then ask for light meat on there. They usually put like 10 slices or like something crazy like that, which is going to really rack up your sodium content for the day. So ask for a half portion of the meat to keep your sodium within the normal limit. And then also load on the veggies if you can. I know Subway has a veggie option, and so does Jersey Mike's. Jimmy John's does as well, but it's a lot of cheese. So I would ask for half the cheese. Kind of same thing as the meat. But veggies are your friend when you go to a place like that.
All right. Awesome. Well, you brought it up. You were just talking a little bit about gut health and things like that. So that actually leads into my next question. What are some safe renal foods for those that are on like renal binders? And the reason why I ask that is because for those of us that had to take renal binders, we all know what it causes. It causes constipation. I mean, just terrible constipation. So what are some foods that can help with the constipation aspect of having to take like renal binders?
Yes, that's a good question because I know for a lot of my patients when I worked at dialysis, they will come in every day with just stomach pain from this constipation, and you can't live your life like that. So some of the things that I recommend would be adding fruits and veggies to your diet. And I know I keep saying it, but it's just so beneficial for kidney health and overall health too. It helps keep you regular. It helps bowel movements occur more frequently and regularly. Even something as simple as adding in a fruit with breakfast and adding a vegetable at dinner can really help bring your fiber up, which helps your overall gut health. Some things that actually can help with giving you probiotics, which are good gut bacteria that help keep you regular as well, are yogurt. So, Greek yogurt would be a good option. It has a lot of protein in it, especially if you are on dialysis and need that protein. If you are not on dialysis, then sticking with maybe a non-dairy yogurt might be better for you because it's going to be a little bit lower in protein, but usually they'll still have probiotics in them. And those probiotics help move everything along too. But some of my favorite things would be adding like raspberries or strawberries to your oatmeal in the morning, or adding some onions and spinach to your dinner at night just to give you some more fiber.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I love onions. So my wife's always getting on to me because I'll literally add onion to almost anything and eat it, except for my morning cereal. But
yeah,
anyway.
that wouldn't be good.
But it's awesome information. And my only other question, this is my last question, and I'm gonna let you possibly share some recipes, maybe if you have some recipes for us. Is what's the most important thing to remember about following a renal diet?
Wow, that's a good question. If I had to pick one thing, that's very tough, but I would say it would be to remember that it doesn't have to be boring and it doesn't have to be bland and it doesn't have to take over your whole life. So add seasonings, add low sodium seasonings, add marinades and dressings and things like that. So that you're adding flavors and you're adding, those spices and things like that to make it more interesting for you. So you actually enjoy eating, but also, it doesn't have to take over your whole life. Find a community like on Facebook or Instagram. Find a dietitian, a supportive nephrologist to help you kind of navigate through that diet so that you can still live your life with kidney disease.
Absolutely. We gotta get a couple of questions here. I think Jared was cutting up with us, asking if yogurt helps you become more cultured. And then Don Smith Bates, welcome to the show. Thanks for watching, Don. Really appreciate you tuning in. What would you suggest for someone that is diabetic and refuse to eat vegetables?
That's a good question. I have had some clients and patients who refuse to eat vegetables as well. So, overall, I would recommend a good balance for your meals and snacks, really. So including some fruit, including whole grains, lean, heart healthy proteins, things like that. But also, if you can, try some recipes that you can almost sneak in some veggies. So I know, with casseroles and stir fries, it can be a little bit easier to do that. So maybe try some of those and see if he likes them. And oatmeal is another great way to add fruits and veggies. You can actually add like shredded zucchini to oatmeal and then add some bananas to kind of mask the flavor. And also add seasonings, add spices. Mrs. Dash, I know someone mentioned, is a great tool to help make vegetables taste good.
Yeah. My nephrologist and my renal dietitian, when I was in center, they told me, spice it up. Use as much flavoring as you can, because those type of foods can get kind of bland and they just they taste the same every time you eat them. So they were trying to encourage me to spice it up. You make it as spicy or without affecting your labs and stuff like that or raising your sodium levels, but like mentioned, Mrs. Dash and things like that. Find you some renal safe seasoning, and make it fun. Try it out, explore. With some of your foods, because I remember some of the meals that I was eating, I would try to really spice it up to make it taste really good. But I like spicy food, so I've always been addicted to spicy foods.
Yeah, that helps.
On my vegetables, I like to use like a steak seasoning, because like I was saying earlier, when I was messaging somebody back, I'm a meat eater, and I do enjoy vegetables, but I'll use a low sodium steak seasoning to put on there, and that kind of helps me to eat more vegetables and stuff. And the other thing is you can use them as toppings on your meat too. I mean, and like asparagus is a great topping on meat, and you can get it to taste almost like meat, and it's candied if you cook it right with some olive oil. So, but that's what I like, steak seasoning on my vegetables.
I love that idea.
Yeah, I see it a lot. I see a lot of people. They do that down here in Texas. They actually throw the asparagus right on the grill with their meat, and grill it up and make it real tender. And I've had it before, and it's actually really good. So, so Kellsey, do you have any recipes that you can share with us, or things that you would just want to suggest as a recipe to type of meals for us to try to eat?
Yeah, I do have a bunch of recipes here, and I'd love to actually send out like some PDFs. If anyone wants to provide their email, I can email you some great kidney friendly recipes. And it includes the nutrition information on there too. So one of the things that I've been talking about with some of my clients is trying to eat more fruits and vegetables, right? Because they're so amazing. So I have a stir fry recipe here that uses a little bit of sriracha, ginger, pepper, sesame oil, rice wine vinegar, coconut aminos, veggie broth as the sauce, and then you add some rice, onions, garlic, broccoli, carrots, a bunch of great veggies, and sesame seeds, and really toss it all together and top it with some cashews. And it's just so good. So I'd love to send that recipe out so that you can really get in some more veggies in a healthy way, in a kidney friendly way. Another recipe I would love to share is actually for a dessert that's kidney friendly. So many people are asking me about what desserts they can have that can cool them off in this hot weather. And I have a strawberry frozen yogurt dessert that is kidney friendly, not a lot of added sugars, and it's really delicious. So I'd love to share that one too. It's made with yogurt, strawberries, a little bit of lime juice, lime zest, vanilla extract, and a little bit of honey to give it some sweetness.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't had dinner yet, and now I'm ready.
I got a question. Where can people find you so that they can get in contact you? Do you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or can you let us know where to find you? That way people can get in touch with you.
That would be great. So I actually have a couple different methods that you can get in touch with me with. So I have Instagram. I am ckd.nutrition.coach. You can find me on there. On Facebook, you can actually find me at Kellsey Reed, and you can follow me on Facebook. But I also have a free private Facebook group that we share recipes, we share meal ideas, snack ideas, we do challenges. We help encourage each other to follow a kidney-friendly diet, and you can go ahead and join that, and I'd love to have you. That is called CKD Nutrition Free Community, and you can go ahead and search for that on Facebook. I also have a TikTok account, which I've been trying to get into, which is also ckd.nutrition.coach.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing all that, because I want everybody to know where to find you in case they possibly want those recipes. And I want people to be able to reach out to you. Me and Shane actually do some dancing on TikTok. I don't know if you've caught some of our TikToks lately, but we do TikTok dancing and things like that. Anyway, actually, no, I'm not a dancer at all. I'm more of I'm more of an eater than anything. So, but But no, this has been an awesome interview. So informative, Kelsey. I feel like I need to bring you back and do a couple more of these. Just keep people informed, because just so much information that I try to keep these interviews down to about an hour. But I feel like we could go on for another hour just sharing all this information. So Miss Kay Blanchard had a question about carrot cake.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she was just wondering if possibly carrot cake was renal friendly, possibly.
It's because she's busting me. Someone has a carrot cake love that might be within this, and so she's asking, because she always is wondering, can you even eat carrot cake? And because I like to have a piece of carrot cake every week.
Yeah, I think that's totally doable. Homemade is obviously better because you know what you're putting into it, but you're getting those veggies in there, which is awesome.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds awesome. Also, you have a website as well. Where can people find you at on the website, and what are you doing with the website? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, so I do have a website. You can learn a little bit more about the program that I offer. I also have a video right on the front page to learn about the program that I've created for my clients called my CKD with Confidence program. And that is just simply www.ckdnutrition.com. And you can also send me a message on there. You can put in your information and ask me a question. But I will say the easiest way to get in contact with me would probably be Instagram or Facebook.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, I've been interacting with you a little bit on Instagram, and I see everything you're doing. You actually post on your Instagram account like recipes and things like that. I've seen on there, so real informative. So if you're on Instagram, go check out her Instagram account, and you can see most of your accounts, social media, on the website.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So I'll have all those links, guys, that she's talked about in the description of the YouTube video. And again, we want to thank our very, very special guest, Ms. Kellsey Reed. Thank you very much for joining us tonight and giving us so much helpful information to the renal community. And also, I'd like to thank our special co-host, Mr. Shane Blanchard. Shane, why don't you send a shout out to anybody that you want to send a shout out to?
Well, I'll send a shout out to my mom, and I see Don is on here too, and of course your beautiful wife Melissa. So I'll say hello to Melissa, and Jared, he's been online here too, so I want to say hello to him. So I appreciate everybody, jumping on and jumping in and asking questions and getting involved, and that's what helps to spread the word for us, and to help spread Kelsey's word out there is liking and sharing and getting that out there for everybody to see. So all my friends and people that will watch on Midwest Kidney Warriors, make sure you share this to your groups that you're a part of on Facebook, and you can help this catch fire and help people to learn more about eating healthy and having a kidney friendly diet. So please share this video too. So
awesome. Yeah, shout out to Jared Brown, the Warriors Quest show, for commenting, supporting Hope with Jonathan. Really appreciate you, Jared. Guys, go over and check out Jared Brown, the Warriors Quest show. He's on YouTube. He's doing the same thing. Matter of fact, he's inspired me to do Hope with Jonathan, along with many others. So please go check out Jared Brown and the Warriors Quest show. He's a special dude. I really appreciate Jared for supporting Hope with Jonathan. But
and he's a big fan of Mrs. Dash.
Yeah, he's a big fan of Mrs. Dash. Yep, there he is. Thank you. Yes, sir, brother. Without a doubt. I appreciate you, Jared. But hey, Kelsey, before we close out the show, why don't you shout out to anybody or say hello to anybody that you want to?
Yeah, I would love to. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I also wanted to quickly mention, if anyone is interested, tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern time, I'm just going to be doing a general question and answer period. So that's open to anyone on Facebook if you want to join me. And thank you guys so much. If you want me to share those recipes with you, contact me and give me your email address and I'll send them over to you.
Awesome. Really appreciate everybody tuning in tonight to Hope with Jonathan. We hope to have more of these shows like this, informative and educational type of shows. And appreciate our special guest, Shane Blanchard, guest host, Mr. Shane Blanchard, and also our special guest, Kellsey Reed. And again, guys, if you haven't already done so, please click on the subscribe button. Please, it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. And again, guys, I really appreciate all the support with Hope with Jonathan. God bless you guys. Stay safe out there. And remember to take care of your kidneys. God bless you.
Bye. Thank you.